see here.
So is this like spice chai or is it vanilla chai or kind of?
Dude, it's basically the pumpkin is what we call it, the pumpkin chai. We use a different pumpkin though, so it's a little bit different. Let me put my phone on do not disturb real fast.
I got mine on silent.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Man, yeah.
You have you taken a sip yet?
No, not yet.
All right, well we're just gonna roll with it, dude. We're going.
Okay, let's do it.
We've got Joe Faith here today.
All right,
dude. I'm glad you came, man. I'm glad you were able to do this. I know did you just get done running?
No, well, I got done doing some personal training.
Yeah, gotcha. So, I saw the running clubs coming, so we'll get into that here in a little bit. But I got you a coffee, or it's a chai, so not coffee, but pumpkin chai.
Right. I got it. Man, it smells great. Yeah. I mean, it really does. It smells like fall.
Exactly. And you're a big fall guy.
Pumpkin Spice Joe is like my alter ego, I have this kind of Jekyll and Hyde thing going on, I think, and in the fall, I start to feel him coming out, and it's getting to that point in the season now. If it gets another 5 degrees cooler, he's going to bust out.
Dude, you got to. I mean, it's coming anytime. I know I wore a hoodie this morning when it was raining.
Yeah.
And it felt pretty good.
It felt like fall this morning.
It's gonna be nice.
I got all my cardigans. They're slowly moving to the front of the closet, so we're getting prepped.
Yeah, I mean, you had I think when I was in your class that one year, do you still have that sweater, the fall one? Is it like, you had a fall themed one?
Yeah, so I've got one with pumpkins on
it. The one with pumpkins. Yep. I remember that.
I got another one now. It's got a fox running through a fall like wood
really?
scene. Yeah, with like the leaves falling and everything. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you to start like the Joe's collection or something on Instagram.
Joe's Fall Collection.
Joe's Fall Collection,
right.
Dude.
That's right.
That could be a brand, man.
Well, look, I mean, fall is like, it's the peak of pretty much anything.
Yeah.
It's the weather's great, all the activities. It's the best time of the year.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think fall is just, what I see it as is it's definitely a peak in coffee in the industry. We see a lot more customers come through when the temperatures drop.
Yeah.
Over the summer, they call it the terrible J's in coffee. So January, June, July are actually your slowest months for coffee in the coffee business. So
I'm surprised January. You'd think you're really in the pit of winter there.
And I was too. And then somebody explained it a little bit to me. And the reasoning they say that January is so slow is because of New Year's resolutions. People are cutting back sugar, cutting back caffeine, cutting back their money. Trying to save, not trying to spend this amount of money each week on coffee.
Right.
And then February comes around, they're like, oh, we need it again. So
it lasts about 3-4 weeks. Everybody's like, I think I'm good. My old ways were just fine.
Or, and what it is, probably people get coffee for Christmas. Somebody gifts them some, Christmas blend or gift card or something. And then they kind of either go and buy their own coffee and make it at home or something for the first bit of the year. But once they're out of that stuff, they're coming on through the drive-through.
They can't hold you back for long. The addiction comes back.
Dude, the addiction comes back, and it's so good. Yeah, I definitely think Joe's collection will be good now that I'm thinking about it. Joe's Fall Collection.
I ought to pitch this to Columbia, Patagonia or something. You know.
And the students love it too at Harding, right?
Oh, the outfits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to bring the cool outfits. I like to get cool ties, cool sweaters, cardigans. I try to embrace that classic professor aesthetic.
Yeah, you put me on. You showed me a guy. I forget his name now. It's a guy on Instagram. He's got a couple golden retrievers. Very fall aesthetic though. I still follow him though.
Really?
What's his name?
James Patrick.
Kill James Patrick.
Dude.
That's it.
Some of my coolest pieces come from him.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a store in Rhode Island.
Wow.
But I think his major part of his business is the e-commerce side of things. But
he sells merch and all that on there. That's what one of those sweatshirts is?
Yeah.
Dude.
You need to get on there right now. He got new fall.
Dude, I'm about to look him up real fast.
Oh, yeah. He's got these pumpkin jack-o'-lantern corduroys.
No way.
Oh, yeah. He's got a couple new sweaters out. The problem is, though, with Kill James Patrick is it's a little expensive. So it's not one of those things that you can – it's not like going to Old Navy or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, so –
you're going to spend a little bit of money.
Yeah, but, man, the quality – it's like, you pay what you get, right?
Yeah.
So,
how do you spell? I can't remember how to spell this thing.
I always mess this up. Luckily, it remembers it on my phone, but I think it's Kiel. Kiel James Patrick.
Yep, there it is. It's KJP.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
You probably will see he's got that 12-foot skeleton out in his yard now.
Dude, oh my goodness.
I'm telling you.
This man is festive as it gets. He's got, it's all over his page. I remember when you showed me this, I knew I had to follow him.
Oh yeah, he's got just like, and the way he edits his photos really brings out.
Yeah, it's like he does a lot of work and it looks like fun though. It looks like just stuff him and his family are doing. You know?
Oh yeah, and I mean he's got like, I don't know, some of the old vehicles he's had in the past, and
yeah, dude, this is incredible. Yeah, there's that skeleton right there.
Yeah,
that thing is huge.
Right. He
I'm gonna have to
also
put this
got
up there.
like a big pumpkin.
Yeah.
That was like as big as his house that he blew up.
Is it this one right? Yeah, this one that he's putting.
Yeah, that
out?
one right there. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is crazy. I mean, this guy's got it going. This is hilarious.
I mean, he's honestly like my inspiration.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's awesome, dude. That is pretty sweet.
He just has such a cool style.
Yeah.
And like especially like as a dad, like, I feel like he's got to be the coolest dad on the block. I mean, you know.
I wonder what his wife does. I bet she does something too. Huh?
I don't know. I mean, he doesn't ever explicitly say. I don't know if she helps him just manage the store and everything, but
I mean, even their dogs have an account here. I mean,
yeah,
204K. Yeah,
Benny and the Pet,
dude.
The Elton John reference there. Benny and the Pets.
Benny and the Pets. Yep.
So yeah,
dude, his dogs have 204K followers.
I'm telling you, the man.
That is insane.
I mean, I feel like you would have an appreciation too for his marketing ability.
No, yeah. I mean, is he sponsored by Starbucks or something? He's always got Starbucks in these videos.
Well, you know, that's what really got him viral.
Oh, for real?
Like, what was that trend people were doing for a while where they were listening to Fleetwood Mac, riding on a skateboard, and they had the cranberry juice, and they would like drink the cranberry juice.
Drink the cranberry? I can't think of the trend. I wonder if we could find it.
Maybe, but like a couple years ago, he was wearing one of his fall sweatshirts, and he put a jack-o'-lantern on his head.
Really?
And he was riding a skateboard, and he had a PSL from Starbucks, and he just poured it onto him. Yeah.
Pumpkin spice latte.
It went viral.
Dang.
And
ever since then, he's probably on the Starbucks. He's like, I gotta incorporate that.
Well, one of his recent videos, it was like them carving a pumpkin and doing something else with it, but they ended up pouring a pumpkin spice latte on him again. It's almost like his calling card at this point.
Yeah, I see they made me, it says me, that first day PSLs hit the menu at Starbucks, and they're like, he's got like a pumpkin.
They're going to end up dumping that on him. Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome, dude.
Which I'm like looking at, that sweater. I'm like, man, I wouldn't just pour spice latte on that sweater.
He's got like a warehouse in the back full of
sticky sweaters that have just been ruined by his videos.
Maybe he should sell them. He should be like, this is the one I poured on myself. A pumpkin spice latte.
For the fanboys and girls, that might actually, you could auction that off.
He's got 1.1 million followers, so
I mean, just for like some 30-something-year-old dad in Rhode Island. I mean,
I've always wondered how people like that gain so fast, but I mean, like you said, it could have been that trend, and then it could have been just consistency after that. Like he built kind of like a vibe. It's very cool, though.
I feel like you probably would understand that. I mean, I think if you want to do anything, or, with social media marketing, I mean, it's a game of numbers. As you're putting yourself out there enough times, and if you do things unique enough, then somebody, especially with something like TikTok, I mean, that could.
You got to give a reason for people to want to follow you, and that's the biggest thing. I think that's something I still learn each and every day. It's like, why would people want to follow this or that? And like that's something that's like, it's like inspiration, almost like kind of like a Pinterest board on his Instagram.
He is a Pinterest board.
Yeah, he's a Pinterest board. Yeah, which is crazy.
Pinterest is one of those things that like I never went down that rabbit hole because I was afraid I could never come out of it.
Well, yeah, it's very. It's very useful for a lot of people. I know I actually listened to a podcast the other day that it was he was the COO of Pinterest. So he worked his way from Facebook to it was just Facebook, and then he went to Pinterest. Okay. So he had a connection there in California. Anyways, he was saying like the target market was always just majority women.
Right.
For Pinterest. And he was like, it was on the Jocko podcast. So Jocko was like, I've never got on Pinterest. And he's like, well, you're probably good. You're probably good not to, but there is like a ton of people that use it. And it's like, I mean, even I hop on there every once in a while if I need an idea. It's super beneficial.
Yeah, the only, like, I've used it for ideas for like Joe's Gym Designs. I have a Pinterest account for like, especially when we were trying to like nail down the 80s vibe. That was what I did to the artist that I work with.
Heck yeah.
We were like, well, how could I communicate what I want?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, we could do Pinterest. And so that's kind of what,
Yeah, and there's a lot of good stuff on there. I know for even like tattoos, like when I was wanting to get a lion tattoo, I was like, I'm going to go and see kind of like some other ideas on Pinterest. So it's cool to see like how useful it can be. Definitely, KJP is a Pinterest guy for sure.
He's a Pinterest man.
Yeah, he's a Pinterest man, Pinterest board there. So that's awesome. Well, dude, you've got the festive spirit going, and you're over at Harding, so you're a professor, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what got you into that? Like, give me the story on this, because I know that you went to Harding as a student,
right.
And then shortly after you got into a career, and then boom, you're back at Harding, and you're still very young. So it's like, what got you into it?
So that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So when I graduated, I wanted to move to Nashville, and this was something that like kind of was bred, I would say, starting sophomore year. What ended up happening was went over there to visit because it was actually where my mother almost went. She almost went to college at Vanderbilt. She had a full ride to there, and she also had an offer at Harding. But anyways, one thing led to another. She ended up deciding to go here, and she had always talked about how much she liked Nashville, so we went and visited and fell in love with it. I was like,
it's a great place.
Yeah, I was like, this is cool. Yeah. And then what ended up happening was over the next couple of years, we would go visit. We ended up, like my senior year, we rented like a little cheap apartment. And then we would go visit there a lot of weekends. Yeah. And so I was like over there a ton.
In Nashville?
Right, my senior year, like on the weekends. And it was kind of crazy that year too, because senior year stuff and then traveling a lot of weekends is wearing us out.
Yeah, for sure.
Graduated, and so I graduated in the fall of 2019, and I decided, I was like, I'm moving to Nashville.
Dang, right before COVID, dude.
Right before COVID.
Dude, that's crazy.
Right. So what basically ended up happening was I was like, hey, I'm just moving. My dad was kind of like, well, like, you don't really have a job yet.
Yeah.
And he was like, maybe you should wait until you have something more stable. And I was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, like full send.
He didn't believe me. And like, no lie, I still regret this a little bit to this day. But I literally just packed up my Jeep and I told him I was going. And
I just got on the road.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mom kind of accepted. She knew that was coming, but Dad was like in complete denial.
But you had a place lined up, or
yeah, I had a place lined up. But I was like, I'm gonna find a job. I'm just gonna do it.
Gonna go there
because I thought, well, I could sit around and wait, or I could just go forge a path.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So I did that, and 2 weeks later, I had a job, and that was where I worked. It was a software as a service company. They did like call center, technology, automation. For like hospitals and clinics.
So what'd you graduate with? Like what degree?
Information systems.
Information systems.
So I was the last class where you could do a double minor without having to add any extra classes. There's like this loophole where, I'll call it what it is, loophole.
Hey, no, loopholes are good. Sure.
Yeah, hey, if it benefits you.
If it benefits you.
If somebody else is using the loophole.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure.
That's right, I'm calling uncle on that.
Yeah.
But it was basically to where, like, you know how well, for anybody that doesn't know, like for a lot of minors, you'll have like 3 classes that are scripted and then like 3 extra electives.
Gotcha.
In that same kind of branch, but then you could make your minor that way.
Gotcha.
But anyways, basically what ended up happening is you could double dip the 3 electives and just take the 3 others.
Yeah.
So you get 2 minors for the price of 1. Basically.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So I was like, why not?
Might as well do it.
But it was literally like the next semester because the registrar, I think, realized, wait a minute, we're like losing out like 3 classes.
Oh my, yeah, they were like, what is happening?
Yeah, wait a minute.
3 for 1.
And it's like Mr. Krabs, right? Me money.
Yeah,
right? So they were like, yeah, I got to fix that. But so I got in information systems, went to Nashville, started working there. Started out great. And then the pandemic hit.
Boom.
That was not fun.
So you got a job before, was it like the start of the year? Or was it like?
Yeah, so it was like early January.
Early January. Gotcha.
Yeah. Because graduated and then I took, searching Christmas and then left and then found a job. Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to start off 2020 strong.
Oh, man. I think my first day was like Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
I think it was, or it was like my second week, but right around there. So did that. And then the pandemic hit. And, in Nashville, things just like shut down.
Yeah.
So we went full remote. So I'm like sitting there by myself in the apartment every day. And I'll be honest with you, like it was probably the worst, like most depressed I've ever been in my life.
You think it was just like mainly because you had to be like you're stuck, kind of like everybody was in their homes or do you think remote job in general wasn't exactly what you were looking for?
I think now, a remote job would be fine, but especially just starting out. And then also just, I didn't really get to meet anybody or find any sort of community. Yeah. And then it was just like, well, everything's shut down basically. Yeah. And so.
And that's a part of the fun of Nashville. It's just there's a lot to do and everything shuts down. It's kind of like a
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
And then it's like you're by yourself every day, and then I was away from family too, which was big, and just was kind of got to the point where I was like, I'm just really unhappy.
Yeah.
And
did you have like a apartment there?
Yeah.
I bet they're pretty high dollar in Nashville.
Right. Yeah. And that doesn't help too. But you're balling on a budget.
Yeah. A little bit different than Searcy.
Yeah. You don't. The cost of living.
Cost of living is a little bit different. Yeah.
You can stretch $1 a lot farther here than you could.
For sure. How far away were you from like downtown area, like Broadway?
A few miles.
So not too far.
No, it wasn't too bad.
The traffic there, I've been in it before, one time.
I mean,
it's crazy.
It would be like I'm just trying to go 3 miles after work, and there was like this series of lights by where I worked. There was like 3 lights in a row. I don't know why we designed it that way.
Yeah.
But you would sit there for like 45 minutes just to get through those 3 lights. Dude. And I'm like, I should just run to work, like literally, because this is ridiculous.
Yep.
But there was one guy that actually bicycled to work that I knew.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, he just zipped right out, and you're sitting there in traffic, and you just see him disappear.
You just see him. He's probably at home. He's eating dinner.
He's stuck in the kids in the bed. And he's like done. I'm still in traffic. I'm like,
that man's got it going. That's crazy.
I need a Lance Armstrong this thing and pedal myself home.
Yeah, that is wild. Well, Nashville's a good place. It's definitely growing. It's still growing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't get to see exactly what the pandemic did to that area, but I know that's weird for you. You're fresh out of college. You want to start this like new adventure. You're like, I'm doing it, and then boom, remote. So you did that for how long?
So I did that from January till I didn't switch from that job to Coba until August.
Wow.
So I was, like I said, and it was kind of this weird spot too, where I didn't want to, like, my parents wanted me to come back home. But for several months there, I was like really against that.
Yeah.
And I think I was just worried about admitting that my plan didn't go the way I wanted it to.
Hey, there you go.
And so like they were like, we feel like you're all alone. Like, why don't you come back home? And I was like, no, like I don't even want to come home. I was like, I'm fine.
Are your parents both from Searcy or?
My dad's from Springdale. My mom's from Searcy. Yeah.
So, but they live in Searcy now.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
And finally, like one day, I was like, okay, I think. And since we were working remote, I was like, I think I'm just gonna come home. Let's kind of see how this goes.
Yeah.
And then it was like end of July, and I remember because I was in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. It was like 6:30. And Dean Frazier called me on my cell phone.
Oh, Frazier.
Frazier.
Yeah.
I know.
There he is. Giving
Wisconsin
you a call.
lad.
Oh, yeah. He's a big Green Bay fan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big cheesehead.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a big cheesehead in his office.
There we go. I mean, Green Bay, I guess I don't know how the Green Bay fans feel now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers just tore his Achilles. Hopefully they have some empathy for him.
They probably had like a voodoo doll, and they were like,
they were like cursing the man.
They were like twisting that leg up.
You didn't do us any more good when you left us. So now,
Well, and the internet's mean. I mean,
dude, it's bad.
I saw the TikToks. They're like, hey, Aaron Rodgers 2023 highlights, and it was like like
him running out of it had him running out with the flag and running out on field, and that was it for one video I saw.
Yeah, I saw one where it was that, and then it was like him on the medical card. I was like, God, too soon. Like,
I mean, that's just tragic. I honestly think that's just part of when you get older and you're playing that kind of sport. I mean, we've seen it in like so many different people that are around his age. Like, they get hit in the wrong way, like that certain way. They're in Achilles. That's like the worst one. Dude.
That's a big injury.
I mean, coming back, you never come back the same after that. So,
well, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't come back. Honestly,
at this point, it just seems. I know he's the type of guy though. He's kind of like, I don't want to go out on this kind of thing. Right. So he may try to come back. I just don't see him being as I don't know. I don't see him seeing as good, like physical.
Yeah, just the older you get, it's kind of what we saw with Tom Brady.
Yeah, your strength is going to be diminished after an Achilles tear, especially if it's like a full blown thing, which I think they confirmed today, which is crazy.
Well, and like, it's tough. Like, when do you quit? Whatever you're doing, when is it time to stop?
Yeah.
I figure for most people, the time to stop is before you really want to. But if you're being honest with yourself, it's like, okay, can I really do this to the level I should be able to do it?
Exactly.
That's hard to. I mean, that's a hard thing to tell, especially somebody who has probably an ego like that, who's been reached such great heights. It's like, well, it's hard to tell somebody like that, hey, man,
And the Jets, like being a team that's trying to rebuild and like build like an actual team that doesn't like lose their whole season. Now they've got Wilson, this guy coming back in who isn't very promising. They don't really know what he's going to do. they were hoping that he would learn from Aaron Rodgers. So it'll be a little bit of sideline learning. So we'll see what he does.
Get some like armchair quarterbacking.
Yeah, talk about getting thrown into the fire.
That's right.
He's about to get thrown in. So
right.
Anyways, yeah, Frazier's a big Packers fan, but he gives you a call, right?
He gave me a call, and I remember the line like it was yesterday. He goes, "Hey Joe, how would you like to come back home?" And I was like, "I would love that." And he said, "Well, we have an adjunct position for the fall." So I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And basically had to hurry up and get a bunch of paperwork done, and then I put in my 2-week notice at the other place.
That quick, huh?
Yep, I mailed them back the laptop. I'm like, "Look, done." And then I started doing adjunct.
Wow.
So I did that for the first semester. So that was fall of 20. And then most, like, in case anybody doesn't know, teacher contracts work on a 9-month cycle. So we go August to May.
Gotcha.
And then summer is a separate contract. So,
okay.
like, if you want to teach in the summer, you can, but it's not always, like, a requirement. But so we're contracted to teach for the university at that time. So basically how my contract was, it was just an adjunct for that semester.
And what does adjunct mean? Like, what is that?
It just means, like, you're teaching a class or two.
Gotcha.
You're not, like, technically faculty.
Okay.
So, like, you're not held to the same, like, you don't have to go to, like, the meetings and things like that. You're more of, like, a bounty.
Okay.
Like we'll say a bounty hunter maybe. Like a mercenary, right? You're kind of like, you come and do what you're paid to do, and then you can leave.
Yeah.
But then for the spring of 21, we did kind of a weird thing. We made an addendum, and they changed it to full-time.
Wow.
For that, so.
Nice. So just, so basically August to December was just the only adjunct you did, and then boom.
And then they said, "Hey,
like, we got
you're a starter, man."
Yeah, we're putting you in the starting lineup.
Dude, they said, "You're in, dude."
For sure. And what did they have you, what were you going to be teaching?
So for adjunct, I just taught one class.
Okay.
It was 2400.
Yep.
So the Excel class.
Yeah, Excel one, yeah.
And then I taught 2400 and 3000. So that was kind of my first two. So I taught like 3000, one 2400. And at that time, too, I started getting my first master's. So I was doing schooling, too, on the side.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and I remember, so I had your class, the 2400, I think it was. Did I have you for both? 24
You had me for 3000 and 3150, I believe.
Whatever class I had you for, there was one that was at 7:30 a.m.
That was Data Viz.
That was tough to get up to for, me sometimes, but dude, a lot of people struggle to get to that class, dude.
It was like we had a lab conflict that semester, and so it was like, "Hey Joe, like, you got to teach at 7:30." That was like that was the only option. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But I remember, like, class didn't really start till 8. If I'm being honest,
Well, and you always came in with you were good about coming in with the energy, or you
I
had
appreciate that.
you had a lot of energy, so that was good because I know for a lot of people, like, that is an early class, and then for what we were doing too, like looking at the computer screen,
right?
Like, everybody was like dead, but I felt like it was a good class. I liked it.
Yeah.
And you always brought the energy and the festive, vibes,
Yeah.
Because, hey, it was fall when I was taking that, so
that's right.
You had to bring those fall vibes.
I still remember you worked with the McDonald's data set.
Dude, that's right.
I still remember that.
McDonald's, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, we did a lot of fun stuff in there. I think it was a lot more eye-opening for me than I originally thought. Originally, I'm like, why am I taking this class, Yeah. And that's just because I'm a marketing major. I'm like a IMC major. Right. So I'm like, why am I taking this, But it actually helped me learn how to use Excel a little bit better than I did before. And then getting to dive into Tableau and that kind of thing was, a different avenue I would have never gotten into if it weren't
otherwise.
For that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would like to learn some more. I think there's a lot of cool things you can do with it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Measurables and stuff.
Right.
For
if
sure.
you're doing any sort of like marketing analytics or anything like that. Make it look
for sure. I wish we could, with my job at Seven Brew, we do a lot of, we can see some analytics as far as like inventory, cost of goods, that kind of thing. I think it'd be cool to input those numbers and like see like more visuals. It'd be kind of cool. But because, we have certain numbers that we have to meet. So I'm like, that would be kind of cool to be like, yo, look what I did for our.
It would be pretty neat.
They'd be like, "Dang, Dylan, what are you doing?"
Yeah, dude, look.
So yeah, we'll probably I'll look into that. But it's been fun learning that kind of stuff through your class and then incorporating it into actual things,
right,
in life. So, so you're teaching. So basically, you did that first semester was just like adjunct. Boom, boom. They next year goes around, like you're on the starting team. So
I'm on the starting team
halfway through the year. That's crazy.
Right, and then I finished up that first master's, and then I got promoted, and then I started a second master's, which I wrapped up this spring. So I've got 2 masters now, and I'm in the process for getting approved to start a doctorate. So we're hoping for spring of
so
this
you're
year.
in that right now?
I'm in that process of starting to get approved and all that.
Dude, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So basically, so you would be called Dr. Joe then, huh?
Dr. Data is really the term I'm really shooting for.
Dr. Data?
Yeah. Kind of like a Dr. Octavius, if you remember Spider-Man. Doc Ock.
Uh-huh.
Similar thing.
Dr. Data, yeah,
Just
dude.
I'm not going to have the tentacle.
Yeah. Well, how long is the process for the doctorate?
So this one would be a doctorate of engineering is what I'm looking at doing, and it would be in artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
My second master's had a machine learning focus to it. So
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, so it would be like 2 years program.
2 years, gotcha.
So, but the way it would work would be like every weekend I have to attend class.
Wow.
For a year. There's be a couple gaps in there.
Yeah.
Like for holidays and stuff. And
you got to carve the pumpkins and all
Pumpkin
that.
Spice Joe.
Yeah, Pumpkin Spice Joe's got to come out sometime.
He going to bust out.
Yeah, you got to go to the farm and, go through the corn maze.
That's right, You got to go, scare them ghosts away.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I've already been to an apple farm this year, so.
I know, I saw, you showed me them
Rebecca
apples,
got me to go to this apple farm, so.
Man. Where's that at?
It's actually in Fayetteville, so it was a bit of a drive, but they had apple slushes, apple donuts, dude.
Did you get an apple slush?
Dude, I did get apple slush. I have a feeling I know how to make it now because I'm a big guy. Like, when I get a drink, I'm like, how can I make this? Because I'm making drinks every day, so I'm like, I got to learn how to make this.
Right.
I think it's just apple juice, and you blend that thing up, dude. That's what it tasted like to me.
Well, that sounds like it'd be
great.
I mean,
apple juice blended, I didn't even think about that.
No, I didn't either.
I love apple juice, but I've never blended it. And then I drank this apple slush, and that's what it tasted like. So I was like, I'm going to have to try it at home.
That's incredible.
But, yeah, I'm all about that stuff. I'm not the best at planning that stuff, but I'm like, let's go, Let's get it going.
So are you like a real go-with-the-flow kind of guy? Or?
I am. So, I mean, there's certain things I'll plan, but there's certain things that I'm just kind of like, a couple days, we could probably do that,
Sure.
Like, a month in advance, probably not going to plan that unless it's some huge event. Right. But like going to like fun things like that, I'm like, yeah, I think we can do it.
Sure. Yeah.
So I kind of go with the flow, but I can be planning. It's just like there's no in between. Like if I am going to be planning, I'm going to have it planned out. Like we're going to know what we're doing. Right. Or if like I'm just going to go with the flow to kind of just go with it.
Sure.
Super flexible. That's what I like to be.
Yeah.
Especially now, it's been good to have a job where it's a little bit more flexible too. So that's nice.
Well, and you're the manager, so that
dude,
also
I know
helps,
it helps. I get to make the schedule, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's fun and get to work with a lot of cool people.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, you're working with a lot of students and you're getting into teaching now. Did you ever see yourself doing that?
No, not at all.
So senior year, you're like trying to graduate, you're trying to move on, start in Nashville.
Right.
No thought crossed your mind of like teaching.
No, I was like, I want to get into the tech space, and that's it. Just work in industry, and that was, I never had considered teaching as an avenue.
Yeah.
And when I got asked about it too, it was like, will I even be good at this?
Yeah.
That was a huge question.
Mm-hmm. You had the imposter theory. Have you ever heard of that?
I had imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
imposter
First
syndrome.
Year,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially being so close in age.
Well, yeah. How old were you the first, like when you were adjunct?
So let's see. We started in fall of 20, so I was 22.
You were 22?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what people like seniors are like. People that graduate are 22 almost.
Because I graduated early.
Yeah.
And
because I guess you're like 21 normally when you graduate, probably, right. And then like some people are 22 though.
Right.
That's wild.
So like I think I was the youngest person that Coba has ever hired.
Really?
I know Phil Brown. It was also another one. But I think
22. I don't know if anybody's beating that, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm the youngest.
Dang. So they need to frame it.
I'm telling you.
Youngest to be hired.
Right? Come on, man.
Yeah.
The
Pumpkin Spice Joe.
I dropped the average age by like probably 20 years.
Yeah.
I tanked the average, man.
We see what Frazier was doing now.
That's right.
He's trying to get that average down there.
He's trying to pad them stats.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Dude, that's crazy, though. I mean, 22, yeah, you're teaching. I could definitely see how the imposter syndrome's there a little bit because you're like, dude, I just was here. I was a student here. Now I'm teaching.
Exactly.
So how comfortable, like how long did it take for you to get a little bit more comfortable, like in the groove of things?
Yeah, I would say probably the second year.
Second year.
I think once you've taught something a few times, 2 or 3 times, you start to get more and more comfortable with it.
Just repetitions and
right.
Learning like how to, I guess I've never thought about being a teacher or professor or anything, but I guess you learn pretty quickly like what people pick up on and what people, you know, enjoy, because I guess they give you feedback too. So
yeah, student evals.
Yeah. So
sometimes those are rough.
Yeah, how legit are the student evals? Like, do you find it like actually beneficial feedback, or is it like majority, or do you find some that are just like out of this world bizarre, like?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's the way it gives it to you. It's all anonymous. So if anybody does wonder, it is anonymous.
It is anonymous. Yeah.
Sometimes people will say things in the free comments where you know who said it because they may reference something specific, and you would
they
know.
expose themselves.
Right. Yeah. But no, other than that, unless you just say who it is, then you wouldn't know.
Gotcha.
But it's broken down. They have like a series of questions. If you remember from evals, you have to answer all those questions.
Yeah.
And basically it rates those for the whole class, and then it compares your score on each question to people in your department, your college, and then the university. Mm-hmm. But the part that really I'll focus on, because I mean, the numbers are important. I mean, obviously, I don't want to be like a 1 or a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
But I always like to go down to the comments because I feel like that's where it's free type. You know, you can say whatever you want. So I like to read the "What could I do better" section, and then "What did I do well" section. Yeah. So those are the parts I really focus on because some students, you know, some people just say, "Hey, it was fine," or "Hey, I didn't like it," and it's like, okay, that's fine. But I do like it when people actually reference, like, "Hey, he did this, and I really like that," and I can know, okay, well, I need to do that again. Or,
you're like, yeah, that's a good feedback for you.
Right. Sure. Or even if it's like constructive criticism, you know, like, hey, you know, maybe you could have done this better, or maybe some of the other things you did maybe just didn't work out as good as you thought.
Yeah. No doubt.
So it's kind of nice in those ways because I've actually changed certain things. From the negative parts. Like, hey, the way you did approach this lesson, or you did too many of these types of assignments. I would prefer if you would do something different. So it is beneficial.
So the teacher evals can be pretty beneficial then, yeah.
I think you're just dependent on how the teacher is.
Yeah.
There's some teachers that probably don't care.
Yeah.
But you know, at least in terms of me, you know, my customers are the students. Is how I view it, and so if they're not enjoying it, then I need to do something to make it better.
Yeah, I think that's good in any avenue, whether it's teaching, whether it's you know, any career you're in. If you're able to receive that feedback in the best way, it's going to help you in the end, because you can always, you know, you can take things with a grain of salt, and if you can kind of read between the lines, like, oh, this is a little like, are you sure that's legit advice I need to take, or is this something that somebody just said because they were upset about their grade or something like that?
Are they flaming me, or is it like real feedback?
Is this a real like legit thing? But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's good that some people will leave like really good feedback though. That's always good. Feedback's good.
Feedback is good.
I encourage it with my people too. I'm like, hey, if y'all see me do something, like, or y'all have questions on something or something I could do better, let me know, because otherwise we're not growing. So.
Well, and sometimes you don't know unless you tell me, right? Like, I may not be aware, you know, or I may think something's good, but it may, how you receive it may not be good. And, you know, I need to know that.
Yeah, exactly. That's good stuff. So, man, you've been, so how long now? So since 2019, you've been teaching, right?
2020.
2020,
so this is my fourth
2020
starting
teaching.
my fourth year.
Fourth year. Yeah. Wow. Time flies, dude.
It does.
It's crazy. But I mean,
older every year, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, dude.
The beard's getting bigger. No.
It's getting thicker,
dude. It is getting big.
I'm telling you, man.
Heck yeah. How long does it take you to grow? Say you shaved it off today, like completely shaved. How long?
To get back to this?
Yeah.
Probably a few months, maybe 3 months.
But you've got to be able to grow a beard pretty quick. Like,
a couple weeks I'll be back to, you know, it's just to get to
Have you ever shaved it off all the way?
Last time I shaved it off was for a wedding.
Really?
Yeah, but that was like...
Dang, whose wedding was it?
It was like a family friend's, like his brother, but it was like back when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah. But like the closest I've gotten, you know, the summer you may have seen, you know, I kind of went stubble with the mustache for a while.
I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, that was my Miami
And
vice.
it's already grown like that.
Yeah,
dude, that's crazy, man.
I have to trim it like every couple days.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of annoying.
How many comments do you get on your beard from students? You get any?
I mean, every once in a while you get one just saying, you know, hey, I'd like the beard or whatever, you know.
That's awesome.
Or some people saying, hey, man, that's a little thick. Or, you know, I mean, the great thing about college students is they'll say whatever, and I love them for it.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I think you definitely have a unique proposition is what I'll say, because I feel like you're in a place where there is like not as much of an age difference compared to some professors. So like you may be at a level where people feel a little bit, you know, like the class is gonna be a little bit more enjoyable just because you're younger too.
Right.
So that may be able to give you some more like interaction with the students, especially in class, like when you're lecturing, that kind of thing. Because I know like you brought the energy, so
I try to bring the heat.
I think that's what's key to college is like if you can find a groove and energy for students, I think that helps a lot. Those 50-minute classes, especially the ones that are like an hour and 15-minute Tuesday, Thursday things. So having a little bit of energy, changing it up a little bit, which you did pretty well, changing up. Some days we'd watch something or, do that kind of thing. So.
Right. And it's, I think that's one of the biggest things when people get started is teaching really is a performance.
Yeah.
And so you have to approach it as such. You need to, like you said, a value proposition. I need to get you pulled into what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
And I need to capture your attention and hold it for however long I have. And so really it is kind of an art in that way.
Yeah.
How can you, it's not just about communicating information. Mm-hmm. It's how can I communicate in a way that you stay engaged and then can remember it.
Exactly.
And that's the real fun part of it.
Did you do any public speaking or like theater or anything like that growing up?
No.
You just got right into it, huh?
I mean, I've never been like afraid of public speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, I took like a comm class. Like
comm class.
But no, it's never been anything. Like I have never been afraid of embarrassing myself.
Yeah. Hey. Well, that's the way to be. I mean, that's the way I try to live life too. It's like at the end of the day, like if you let fear hold you back too much from doing things, you're really gonna limit yourself. Because we're all just people, you know. Yeah. So if you can laugh at yourself and do that kind of thing, it's gonna make it a lot better. Just laugh at yourself. Like it's funny. Like you messed up, great. Like let's laugh it off. Like,
that's right.
It's funny. Yeah. So I like that aspect of life, and definitely when you can get the mindset going, it really helps you like excel when it comes to either speaking or interacting with people, that kind of thing.
I think too the students respond well to it too. Like if you're willing to crack jokes and make fun of yourself, that just makes them comfortable around you.
Dude, heck yeah. What's the hat, by the way?
Vineyard Vines.
Vineyard Vines, 1998.
Yeah, 1998. That's when it was founded.
Really?
But that's also when I was born.
Dude, that's what I was gonna ask. I was like, you had to be born in 1998. That's why he's got the hat.
That's
why
I was manufactured.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Come on,
heck
dude.
yeah. I've been meaning to ask you. It like popped in my brain because I was looking at your hat.
Yeah. Well, it's like kind of like a felt kind of hat, and I didn't really have one of those.
Yeah.
And I love the year. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Hey, that's awesome.
And it fits on my head. I have a really big head.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big hat guy. So
yeah.
I like hats. I need to upgrade my collection. So what's crazy is growing up, I was on the snapback, like flat bill hats.
Yeah.
And then those like went out, like not, I don't know how long ago, but now I'm like a big trucker hat guy.
Oh yeah.
So trucker, if you can find me a good trucker hat, that's what I like. So
hey, maybe a 1998 trucker hat.
That's pretty
I'm
dope.
Just saying,
see, because I was born in 2000. It's not as cool as like 1998. It kind of has some kind of thing.
You're
to
90s baby.
Yeah,
man.
I'm 90s.
I mean, I don't remember anything from the 90s, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But, yeah.
Were you in any clubs at Harding?
I was in Chi Sigs.
Chi Sigs, dude. Chi Sigs, are they still pretty big?
I think so.
Yeah, they've always been pretty big.
A lot of students don't ever guess that. I get a lot of.
What do you normally get?
Gamma is a big one. People
really Gamma Sigs, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any friends in Gamma Sigs?
I did have some friends in Gamma Sigs.
Who were you friends with by chance?
Do you know Danielle O'Shields?
Yeah, I know Danielle.
Yeah,
she was a queen, actually.
She was a
yeah.
queen. Yeah. And then her now husband, but back then boyfriend Michael Essery.
Yep.
I knew him.
Yep. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah. I went to a Gamma Sigs function senior year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Michael asked me to go.
No way. Which one? Was it
romantic.
clam bake or what?
It was like a skate function.
Oh, okay. Yeah, was that the skates and dates thing?
Skates and dates.
Dude, that must have been, so that was your senior year, right?
Yeah.
That was my freshman year.
So you were at that function.
I wasn't there because
this
was before we pledged Gamma Sigs.
So you were about to be.
I was literally about to be in Gamma Sigs, and that's funny. You were at the function because I remember we were all talking about like, Gamma Sigs is having their first function of fall, but like we couldn't go because like we're not in the club yet.
Right.
But I actually have one of those shirts because one of the older guys gave me one. But the skates and dates shirts are pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a big night. I'm not a skater. But so like there was this girl there.
Yeah.
Big crush on her.
Uh-huh.
And the whole night I was willing to work up courage to say something to her. I'm like, okay, like this, it's dim, it's romantic, skating, but I can't really skate. So I was like kind of holding on to the edge, trying to get my sea legs under me.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to make a move because "Kiss Me Through the Phone" came on by Soulja Boy.
Dude,
678-999-8212. Yeah, I was like, it's.
You said it's
game time.
Yeah, it's game time.
Yeah, I was locked in,
dude.
And Do you know Jeremy Tomlinson?
Yeah, I do know him.
Okay,
yeah.
so we were sitting there, and I was like, Jeremy, like, I need you to, like, I was timing where she was at on the rink, and I was like, okay, I need you to get me a head of steam going. So as the chorus hits, I can swing up next to her, and it's
kind of like a push, you know, like push you out
right,
there.
because I was like, I can riz this chick up if you could just get me there.
Heck yeah.
And he's like, oh, dude, easy. He's like, I'll get you lined up, and I was like, okay. And so we waited, got to where, hey, she's a little bit in front. He could go, and he's like, are you ready? I was like, yeah, let's go. And he just took off and grabbed my hand and yanked. And when I tell you, I went heads up, head down, landed on my tailbone. I bruised my tailbone. It was purple for like 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness! Did she even see you?
She came back around and laughed as I was on the...
Oh wow!
Yeah,
this man did you dirty, dude.
Yeah, so I didn't talk to her that night. I said, I kind of just walked off the rink, and I think I'm gonna
no riz on the rink, dude.
Yeah, I got Rizless on the rink.
Rizless on the rink.
The Rizzler was not loose on the rink.
That's
that night,
crazy.
It was rough, man.
Dude, I remember. Dude, the skating rink was the spot growing up, and I know every time I've been back to the skating rink, it does have like a. It's like that. It's like a movie scene romantic vibe.
It's like you're meant to hold hands.
Yeah, you're meant to have some kind of romantic moment at the skating rink.
It's requirement.
Yeah,
I think.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the sign just went
off.
It did.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy about that?
What?
I think it's set on a timer from when the old Nova Joe's used to close at 9.
Really? Is it 9?
It's almost 9. It's 8. So I don't know why it shut off, but it definitely is on a timer. I'm just gonna turn around and turn it back on real fast.
Oh yeah, well we're still open right now, right?
We're still open for business.
I mean, come on, Maybe it's on like.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, it's back. We're back. I think it's on a timer, so that's pretty funny actually. That's.
Maybe I was thinking like Eastern time, so it was like it was an hour.
Yeah, it must be something like that. And I was like, what happened to the lighting in here, dude?
I know you didn't have that nice backlight.
I know. I need a little backlight here.
That's right.
But dude, that's awesome. So a lot of connections there, man. Yeah. A lot of connections. It's crazy how life works. You know, you meet people, and then like I was a freshman, you were a senior. That's crazy. Yeah. And then you're a teacher. You know, it's nuts.
Small world.
Yeah. So what do you with the teaching, I saw that you also do like a side avenue called Joe Does Tech.
Yeah.
So what's that about? Is that like a side business of yours that you created, or what is that?
So it's kind of like a thing where I house, like if anybody wants to do any like sort of consulting work. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll get like some odd job requests.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like an avenue for people to shoot me a message through that. I also have videos on there. So I do have a few like recorded lectures that I've done. And I need to make some more.
Lecturing Joe,
man.
Dude, look at that. Heck yeah. I mean, it's cool that you've done that. So that's really just another avenue for you to really provide a service that you know that you can provide as far as information systems goes. There's so much under that. What all are you doing with those videos? You're showing people how to.
So it's a lot of programming is what I've been doing now. Okay. Is trying to help people with programming. Just because there's. A lot of people may not want to do like an IS degree, but they'd like to know how to maybe code a little bit.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Is it like a subscription thing?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. That's crazy. So if you can get the whole like lessons and stuff put up, that's going to be passive income.
Right. Exactly. I need to make some more. It's just this summer kind of got so busy with Joe's Gym and all the other jazz.
Dude, yeah. So let's talk about Joe's Gym because I've been wanting to talk about it because I saw that pop up on my feed on Instagram this summer and I was like, wait a second, what is this? Joe's Gym? So it looks super cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And I actually pulled up, like I've been looking at the Instagram page.
Yeah.
And just so like, before we talk about, I'm going to let you talk a lot about it, but I want to read the caption that I read because this is like the main caption you put out, just so it gives everybody reference to what the post was.
Yeah.
Because I think it's some good stuff because you're kind of talking about your past and then like it's kind of the inspiration. And then we can kind of dive into it after that. But the caption on Instagram, I think the post it said, being someone who used to be over 220 pounds at 5 feet 9, and very inactive, losing almost 100 pounds and rebuilding my physique, physical fitness has become such an integral part of my life. Lifting weights and running help me to be the best I can be, both in the classroom and with the family and friends. I want to be able to bring my knowledge to those around me. Since 2020, I have been slowly building my own personal training studio, and I'm excited to open up the possibility to train with people. Then it says, my goal with this is to do both weight training and running help for my clients. I'm also working on getting everything together for a running club that will start this fall And that's actually in the works now. So, dude,
it is.
Such a just like dropped it on us. You know,
Right.
Joe's Gym is just dropped. It's here. Yeah. And I love your story, you know, talking about like where you were and then where you went to, because looking at you now, you would never know, like, whoa, like this is where he was. And then he's been working at this for a while, and like, boom. He's at
You scroll back on Instagram there, you know, you can see.
Dude,
you know,
I mean, we're going to have to look it up, dude.
we may need to, man.
I mean,
you know?
you've got it. Is that on like your personal?
Yeah, just, I mean, you can go back and see, you know, what I used to look like.
Really? So you say you were 220, huh?
Yeah.
220.
226 was the heaviest I ever got.
226.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is, I found the one picture on there.
Yep.
A little bit. That beard wasn't as big there.
No, I didn't.
But dude, you still had a beard going.
I'm telling you, man.
Man, impressive stuff, dude.
I appreciate that.
So like, tell me about it. Like, tell me about your journey with fitness, and then tell me about how that led into Joe's Gym.
Yeah, so really it was just kind of a case of, I think I just gotten super inactive.
Yeah.
Because I used to be pretty thin in high school, pretty active. And then in college, I mean, they say the freshman 15, but it was more like the freshman 75. You
Dude,
know,
it's a real thing.
Dude, I mean, just kind of hung out all the time, ate, and didn't do anything.
Yep.
And then it just kind of was like this thing where just one day I just kind of woke up and realized, like, you know, I'm really not happy with how I look and how I feel. And I think for me, too, is a big, like, mental thing, like how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, I need to change this because I don't want to be like this forever.
Yeah.
And so I started going to 10 Fitness and lifting weights.
Oh, 10 Fit.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I go right now. Yeah.
And so I got a personal trainer, too. I did that for a few months.
Yeah.
And at first, it just kind of started out, hey, like, I'd do treadmill, and then I'd lift weights, and that worked out pretty good, and I ate super clean.
Yeah.
Like, kind of bro style,
Uh-huh.
you know, lean meats, you know, veggies, like, no nonsense. I did that
chicken breast
for months.
Yeah.
I was like, I was religious about it. You know, I would not cheat.
Yeah.
But the weight, like, peeled off. And then started getting into a little bit of running. But I actually didn't like running at first. I just did it purely as a means to burn calories.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when the pandemic hit and the gyms closed down, I was like, this ain't good. So I was like, you know, we had, like, at my parents' place, they had a second building.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to convert this into a gym.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know if you remember when Health Corps closed down. Like,
Is
where
that
the new library that they're building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I used to be a gym.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They, like, liquidated out. Like, so they had, like, this big auction.
Wow.
I bought, like, a huge amount of their dumbbells.
Really?
Some of their equipment. Yeah.
Dude, you got a steal. That's awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah. It was super cheap.
Yeah.
Dad was not happy when I told him, hey, man, we've got, like, a lot of dumbbells we got to go pick up.
Yeah, we've got a lot of weight to get. What'd you have to haul that on? Just a truck? Or
Yes, we put it in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
But luckily, like, it was on the second story. And we had dumbbells ranging from 55 to, they had 120-pound dumbbells,
Dude, you have 120?
I have 120s.
Dude,
yeah.
That's huge.
Now, don't ask me to do much with them, you know, but they're there.
No, I feel you. I mean, so I hear people complain all the time, like, the gym doesn't have 120s, or, you know, because 10 Fitness used to not have 120s. Now they do, but that's crazy, dude.
I mean, they're mainly there as like a flex, I think, more than anything. Not that I won't do anything with them, but they're there.
Oh, yeah, you got them.
And two is like, you know, I mean, they came with the set. I mean, you gotta have them.
You gotta have them.
But at first we thought we were going to carry them down the stairs.
Dude.
And me and Dad, like, had a big argument because he was like, you didn't tell me. I'm not carrying all these dumbbells down the stairs. I'm like, dude, you're all I've got right now. Like, I need you to help me.
Yeah.
But luckily they had this, like, kind of crane out there, and it had, like, a double doors on the second story that just led to nothing. And it was something that they had for when they built the gym, so you could actually lift equipment up. So what we did is they actually let us bring the truck and back, and then they just lowered it down.
Oh, dude.
It was a lifesaver.
I mean, can you imagine? How many dumbbells were there?
It was 55 to 100 in increments of 5, and then they had the 120s.
So y'all would have had to carry those down the stairs.
We carried like 4 sets down.
Yeah.
Before Dad was like, look,
dude, that's enough work. Your traps got to be on fire.
Dude, and your forearms too.
Yeah, dude, that's
like, dude.
insane. That's a workout in itself.
No
right
kidding.
There.
Yeah.
Dang. So you got that auction went down, and you got the equipment. So
yeah,
I mean that's nice.
And then kind of slowly started adding other things. So I got like 5 to 50s. I ended up buying those separately.
But you were mainly doing this because the pandemic closed the gyms up.
Yeah,
right?
and I decided, you know what? I'll just make a little gym at the house, and then like in the mornings, I like to get up early and work out. And then I'm like, I don't have to drive to the gym anymore. It was really a super big convenience thing for me.
Yeah.
And then kind of when the gyms opened back up, I was like, I mean, I got everything I really want to do here.
You're like, why would I go to the gym?
Back?
Yeah.
So I
that's
just
nice.
kept doing that.
Yeah.
But then, and really the thing about Joe's Gym didn't really come about till really at the beginning of this year, started thinking about that. And it really stemmed from this idea of, I kind of have this umbrella idea of what I call Joe Does Things. And that's like, basically just, how can I bring things that I'm passionate about to others?
Yeah.
And that's like kind of my umbrella of Joe Does Things. So like Joe Does Tech.
Joe Does Tech.
And then Joe's Gym. Joe's Running Club. Joe Does Stuff. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah. That's like the overhead. Joe Does
Right.
Things. And then under it would be like all the things you do.
Right.
Dude.
And it's just, you know, I don't know. I mean, I love teaching and that relationship I can have with people, but I also like doing things with people in other avenues as well. And so I think that's just an expression of that, if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. And I think what you're doing is pretty cool. You're going to have to tell me about the design, though. It's super, super unique for sure. And it looks cool.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah,
dude, it's, we've got, it says Landon Howard. Is that your art guy?
Yeah, so he actually works for Conley Graphics here in town.
Oh, for real?
But he did like graphic design at Harding, and he does like commissions. And so he's like a real deal artist, man.
Dude, so you just did you reach out to him knowing like you had an idea? Or?
Well, we were friends.
Okay.
We were friends since Honor Symposium. So I've known him since 2015.
Dang.
Yeah.
So you had a connection there already.
And then this summer, I actually reached out to him and said, hey, I got this idea. And we started laying the groundwork. And he's like, it's been really good working with him because he totally gets the way my mind works.
Yeah.
And like in terms of communicating how I want things to look, it's like he's spot on.
Dude, yeah, it's almost, it's so cool. Like what's the idea here? Tell everybody what the idea for the vibe and what it's supposed to look like.
So it's very 80s themed.
80s themed.
But it's based off of He-Man.
He-Man.
And the Masters of the Universe. I don't know if you ever watched
I've never watched it, no.
Oh man.
I'm gonna have to get on it.
It's cringy in the fact that it always ends up the same way. He-Man always beats up the bad guy, which is Skeletor.
Wow.
And they live in this place called Eternia, and there's all these different like heroes and stuff. But He-Man has a cat.
Okay.
And basically, He-Man has this big sword.
Yeah.
And he's like a prince in this place called Eternia. And he's got this like enchantment through this thing called Grayskull.
Yeah.
Way more nerdy stuff than you need to know. But basically, when Skeletor shows up, he can like summon this like power, and it makes him jacked.
Dang.
And that's how he looks like that, because he doesn't look like that normally.
Yeah.
And then it transforms the cat into Battle Cat, and it basically becomes a saber-toothed tiger.
Dude, this is a whole thing, dude. I'm gonna have to go look at that too. That makes a lot more sense.
Oh, the cartoon's great fun.
Dude, the cartoons are cool on here too. I mean, it's good artwork too.
Oh yeah, and so we tried to make it like, so instead of like Skeletor is this like jacked skeleton. It's like a really jacked man with a skeleton head.
Yeah.
So what I tried to go with was like, well, what's the opposite of getting gains? Well, it'd be losing your gains. So it was like, well, the bad guy's going to be somebody that saps your gains away.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the big idea there.
Dude, that's awesome. The gain stealer. Born from all things.
Catabolic.
I can't read here. What the heck? Born from all things catabolic. Gain stealer is a tried and true villain, with his ultimate goal being to rid the world of gains. He will stop at nothing to accomplish his mission. Dude, this is so funny. Dude.
He's an evil character, man.
Dude, he is an evil character, and like this is something that you could definitely get people to interact on. Right. And it looks like you got merch and everything, dude.
Yeah, we did our summer drop, and we've had a couple different rounds of different vinyl stickers.
Is that like this shirt right here is kind of like a fitness type shirt, huh?
Yeah, so it's 100% polyester. Dang. It's like a shirt you'd wear to work out in.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
So that was our Miami Vice theme shirt.
Yeah, so Miami Vice.
We got the Pit Vipers and the
I see that.
The Hawaiian shirts all, cut off and we're all ripped and tan and everything,
Dude, this is so cool. Joe's Gym. And I've seen your videos this summer too, like the reels that you put out.
Oh yeah.
You busted out the jorts of
the
justice.
Jorts of Justice.
Yes, I remember seeing that one. Dude, it kind of gives us a look into your gym setup, dude. You got a lot of stuff in there. You got the easy bars and everything.
Dude, it's packed in there, man.
Dude, you got all kinds of stuff.
Dude, we got a couple treadmills. We got the air bike, man.
Yeah, you're like, why go to a gym?
We got a cable tower, man.
You got Joe's Gym there, dude. You're going to have to get you a sign on that thing and and everything.
I need like a neon. I need a neon sign.
Dude, a neon. You could get one. Joe's Gym. That'd be cool. It would
look pretty cool.
Yeah, you could probably get your art guy just to come up with something too and then send it somewhere. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Joe's Gym. And so now you also have the running club.
Yeah. So that was our inaugural run was yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is the running club? Is it strictly to kind of like, interact with the Harding students, get them involved in Joe's Gym a little bit?
Well, and get them involved in running.
Running,
to get them involved in something that is active and good for them. I started in the spring unofficially. I had a few students that I ran with, but it was before this all got started.
What kind of runs are y'all going on? Like how long?
So what I'm working with now, the students I'm working with are actually wanting to do some of them want to do the St. Jude half on December 2nd, and some are signed up for the full.
Wow.
So like yesterday we just did 6 miles, or we did 5 miles, sorry, at like a good base building.
Yeah.
But we're wanting to do some speed days together.
Dude.
Yeah, it's fun.
That is fun. I mean, and you're big into marathons and stuff like that now, running 5Ks here and there. What's the longest one you've done?
A marathon.
Marathon?
Yeah.
And how long is it? How much is it? Like, how many miles is a marathon?
26.2.
26.2 miles.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Dude.
How do you feel after one of those?
Afterwards, you feel great.
Yeah.
You're on that runner's high. You can then go eat literally anything you could ever want because you burned, over 2,600 calories. So it's like,
Dude.
The world's your oyster, dude. The problem is the next day.
You sore?
The soreness.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Most I've ever done was, it was actually in Italy when I went to Huff for that short period of time before we got sent home. Yeah. So we actually, Robbie had told us it was a 5K. And we get there and they say it's a 10K.
Oh, no.
And so we're like mid-run and we're like, I thought this was supposed to end already. And so we just had to keep going. No training, nothing. Dude, I've never been that sore in my life.
Oh, man.
We didn't train for that. I was wearing like, I don't know, not the right shoes. I know that. It wasn't running shoes.
Right.
And so that was the most I've ever ran in my life. It was definitely a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, running it's definitely a sport that you got to train for, I would think. And so for like a marathon, how long are you training, you think?
So for this time, like, because this is going to be my second one coming up. So I did my first one.
Are you doing a full?
Yeah. Dang. So I'm doing 2 this fall.
2 fulls?
Yeah. So I'm going to have done 3 marathons this year.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that in the future because I've been in a training cycle.
Yeah.
All year. But so for this one, my fitness is a lot better. So like for the first marathon I did, it took like 6 months.
Really?
To get geared up and ready. But now, I mean, I can do a full cycle in like 4. So it's not as big of a deal.
So what is like training? Do you like start running like 5 miles a day, for like a certain amount of time, then you increase, or is it always just a, short amount?
So typically, like what I do just for base fitness is I'll do 5 miles. That's kind of like my standard run.
Yeah.
And then usually you want to have like 1 day a week where you're working on speed training. So trying to work more on sprinting speed and trying to get that pace faster.
Yeah.
And then usually Saturday is kind of like the official long run day for runners.
Wow.
So that's like where you get up, and basically how you start is like a lot of times you'll start at maybe 6 or 8 miles as your long run.
Yeah.
And then typically what I like to do is kind of build up. So you maybe go like 8, next weekend do 10, next weekend do 12, then back down to 10, then 14, then 10, 16, 10, and try to give your legs some break as you're kind of tapering up. Dude, so
that's a lot of running, dude.
It is a lot of running.
Lots of running. Where do you run at particularly?
I just start at my house and go. I just have a bunch of different routes.
Yeah.
The big thing with the long runs is when you get to that big a distance, especially in the summertime, because a lot of marathons are in the fall. So a lot of your training will be done in the heat of the summer.
The hard times.
Right. Sure. So like I've been known to get up at like 4 and have a cup of coffee and then go.
Get on it.
Yeah, because if you don't, some days, you'll roast out.
Yeah, 100 degrees like we had a few weeks ago, you'd probably be in a dangerous situation running 8 miles out there.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
So that's the times where it's like, and the big thing, I actually had a student talking about marathon running with me this morning. And the biggest thing is it's a mental thing more than anything else, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it's all about deciding that you're wanting to do that.
Yep.
And if where the mind goes, the body will follow. And if you can't mentally get yourself in a place to want to do it, then you don't ever need to sign up to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, that one you know, that 10K or whatever I ran. So I wanted to do a 5K, like I was wanting to do it. I think the thing that pushed me was actually how many people were also running. Yeah. So I don't know if that plays into. I know like in a marathon, there's probably a lot of other people running. Right. I was looking around me and I'm like, this man's 70 years old. He's outrunning me like it's nothing. Like this man is on it. Yeah. Like. That's crazy. And your mom also runs with you too, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So she's a big runner.
Yes.
So does she train with you too some?
Yeah, we train most days together.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless I'm doing something like with the running club or if I'm doing my own long run. Like she's not training for a marathon right now, so there'd be no point in her going out and doing like 16 miles. Why would you do that unless you're doing something for it?
Dude, that's incredible though. So y'all get to go and experience that together, which is awesome.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, like my first marathon was supposed to be like spring of 22, I think. And I'd signed up with it, with mom and everything, and I like backed out of it.
Really?
We started doing the training, and I chickened out.
Chickened out on it.
Yeah, it was like I don't want to do this, and I backed out, and it was kind of like this weird thing. Like I still regret not doing it, but it was like this kind of switch flicked in me, and I was like, okay. You ever heard people talk about how if you ever have like a strong aversion to something, then that's a signal. So like the stronger the aversion, the more you need to do it.
No, yeah.
And something switched in me. I was like, I have a mental weakness here, and I said I am not comfortable being uncomfortable. And I was like, I've got to fix that.
Yeah.
And so I signed up for another one, and I stuck to it, and I loved it. The whole process, and I think it was just attitude adjustment.
No, I think that's big. I mean, like you said, you've got to have the right attitude going into it. So,
right.
And
I did
to even
that first one.
That first one you didn't.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you'll be doing 3 total this year.
Yeah.
So you've already done one. When was this one? The first one.
It was the Little Rock Marathon. I think it was March 20 something.
Okay. So they do try to dodge the summer times.
Yeah, most marathons are going to be in the summertime.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. They need that'd be kind of dangerous with how hot it gets down here.
Right, you would worry something would happen to somebody. I figure
for sure. And so, when's the St. Jude?
Yep, so I'm doing that one.
Yeah, so you're doing that one. It's coming up, though, right?
Yeah. And I've got one on November 18th. So
dang, right before Thanksgiving, dude.
Yeah, going into Thanksgiving break.
Hey, there you go. You can eat up on Thanksgiving after run that
cranberry
marathon.
sauce and turkeys better look out because the sheriff's in town.
Dude, I bet Joe's got a big Thanksgiving plan, huh?
Dude, man, mom makes homemade cranberry sauce.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, this is weird. But I'm a kind of a weird guy, so, that's just kind of par for the course. But cranberry sauce is my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Is it actually?
Yes.
Dude, here's my theory on this, because I don't do cranberry sauce.
Really?
But I feel like there's no in between. Mm-hmm. You either love it or you don't do it. You don't mess with it.
There's no offense.
I've never heard something like, I'll have some. Or it's always like, I love cranberry sauce. Or it's like, ooh, that's
not really a fan. Yeah.
But you're a big cranberry sauce. Yeah. And she makes it homemade. So
yes.
That could be the difference.
Well,
right
and like, it's got like chunks of cranberries in it and stuff. And oh, man.
So it's probably a little bit different than what I've had, if I'm being completely honest. Because I haven't had like some homemade like cranberry sauce.
Sure. Have you gotten like the stuff like out of a can? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they're on that can, And
it's like imprinted like with the can.
Yeah, you're like I don't know if this is edible.
Yeah, it's not the most appetizing look. Definitely not.
That's crazy.
But she makes it like a little more tart. I like a little less sugar in it, so it's got that real bite to it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Are you a sweet potato pie guy?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So I'm a huge sweets guy. I'm not savory.
Yeah.
Like, so if I could live off of dessert, I would.
What's your favorite pie?
Favorite pie?
Yeah.
I love a good apple pie with like ice cream on it. That's good.
Apple pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie. It's one of my favorites. I think that's my favorite.
Right?
Yeah. Some people say pecan. Pecan pie.
So I feel like too much effort to say pecan.
Like, come on.
You're doing that on purpose, right?
Why are you saying pecan pie?
That's right. What's the problem here?
Yeah, we actually have a drink at Seven Brews. It's like a pecan pie drink that some people get, but you'll hear somebody say, "Can I get the pecan pie?" I'm like, ugh.
Not around here.
We don't have that pecan. That's not a good way to say it, but I love pecan pie. Pumpkin's always a staple. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
If I do pumpkin pie, I usually put whipped cream on there. Ooh. And for some reason, I like to have pumpkin pie warmed up. Like, pretty warm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'd tell you my favorite thing is cinnamon rolls. Oh, dude, I can destroy.
Have you had the Warehouse 4 cinnamon rolls?
No. Are they good?
Dude, they do them every Sunday. There's a plug for Warehouse 4, but
hey, plug them.
They have some good cinnamon rolls. I don't know what it is. Every Sunday they have them though.
Okay. So
usually
just a
after,
Sunday deal.
Yeah, sometimes after church I'll swing by. Y'all got any cinnamon rolls left? Because those things, whoever's making them, I think different people make them, but they have a recipe. Whatever it is, it's super good.
Yeah. And
it's like right there on campus. So drive by, I'm like, I got to get one of those. Well, I'm a big cinnamon roll guy too.
Well, and you can make them different ways.
Yeah.
Too, depending on like the icing. You can do different fillings, and I mean, there's, limitless. It's like Sonic, right? There's limitless combinations. So.
Heck yeah. I mean, Sonic is another area where you can get really creative, which I don't go to Sonic as much anymore just because I have 7 Brew and all the drinks at 7 Brew. But
plug for 7 Brew.
Yeah, plug for 7 Brew. But Sonic has endless opportunities too. So I am a big, Thanksgiving guy though when it comes to the food. Are
you turkey or ham?
See, this one gets me because
it
depends. So like I've had. Because, most times you think turkey, it's a little bit dry.
Yeah.
But I've actually had a turkey where somebody cooked it really well. And that thing was not dry. That thing was savory. It was, you could put that on a sandwich, like anything with it. It was so good.
Yeah.
So I guess if I had to choose one, I'm just going to go ham just to be safe. Especially if it's a pineapple ham. I'm a big pineapple ham guy. Have you ever had that?
No, I've never had pineapple.
So you put some pineapples, like the big, like round ones, and they put them on the ham. It's super good.
Okay.
Like a pineapple, like drizzle on there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've seen it done some with like the Coca-Cola glaze. I've had that
before. Coca-Cola glaze.
Yeah.
I don't do pineapple on pizza though.
Not a pineapple on pizza guy.
I can't do it.
Wow.
I don't approve of it.
Don't approve?
No. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I do.
Dude, I can't do it. Pineapple on pizza, nope. It's not for me.
Like the Hawaiian pizzas and stuff.
Yeah, just it's not very good. I mean,
I'm going to the luau. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. Last year we actually went on a cruise for Thanksgiving, so it was a little bit different. We didn't do the Thanksgiving traditional meal, but we're on a cruise, so it was pretty cool. They had the cruise ship attempted Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best attempt.
Really?
They kind of need to stay in their lane with like the seafood and that kind of thing. They don't need to try to do turkey and pumpkin pie. Like it was a little bit out there for them. So you could tell they kind of forced it. So it wasn't the best, but yeah, there's nothing like some home cooked Thanksgiving meal though.
Oh man. And then you can watch the game,
dude,
sit on the couch, go comatose. It's a great.
The funny thing about me, man, with my past, I've been with several families for Thanksgiving, and dude, it's been weird because you get to see how people do things differently.
Right.
So like I have like my family, like I've been to plenty of, my dad's side and then my mom's side. I've been to those Thanksgivings, and then I've been to other, sponsor families, and to their Thanksgivings. And I'm like, everybody does something different, but it's like I'm getting a taste of everybody's food, man. This is crazy.
A taste of the world.
Yeah, one time I got invited to 2 Thanksgiving dinners, and I was like, I'm gonna try to figure out how to go to both, man.
Yeah.
Like, I need as much food as I can get here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Try it all.
Stock up, dude.
Heck yeah. Well, anyways, with everything coming up this fall, with Joe's Gym kind of in full swing. You got the Joe's Running Club. Like, what do you think's next for Joe's Gym? Like, where do you want to take it? What do you want it to do? Is it just going to be one of the other categories under Joe Does Things, or is it going to be something you actually try to make, like, you want to sell more merch? You want to, maybe put up a booth somewhere, get people signed up for classes, that kind of thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, one thing we're working on right now is a running club design. That's kind of so we're doing. It's a Scooby-Doo themed design.
Scooby-Doo.
Like
I get down
Hanna-Barbera,
Heck
60s, like the old school cartoon.
The old school, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're working on right now. And I'm kind of just trying to trial out the running club as a formal thing, trying to help train some people to get ready to do the half and the full.
Yeah.
What I'd love to do is be able to actually eventually plan to go to a race like all together.
Yeah.
Like, and be able to wear the Joe's Gym stuff and do that.
That would be crazy. That would get people talking, they'd be like, what's that, and honestly, you can make a lot of connections that way too. When you can add some kind of personal brand to something you're passionate about, I feel like that's the key to making it, more of a real thing that can last long, because then you've already invested in it even more than just your own like wants, but you've also got like a cool, fun, interactive idea that goes along with it. So I feel like you've got it going with that for sure. It looks like people are following the Instagram, that kind of thing, engaging on there. Dude, so in the running club, I saw Chase Preston's in there, dude.
Dude, Gamma President.
Yeah, Gamma Prez, dude.
Dude.
And is Parker doing it too?
Uh-huh.
Dude, Parker works with me, and like, I didn't know he was doing it, but I'm going to have to ask him about that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We got a couple other guys that just weren't able to make it for the first one, but we got, I guess, 6 people. Kind of in the group chat. I got a group chat.
Group chat.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's official. And like, how y'all run, like, is it once a week or what is it?
So right now with like club stuff, we're not doing next week, but we're kind of tentatively looking at the 25th as our next run. So that'll be 2 Mondays.
So y'all just communicate on like when the run's going to be, that kind of thing.
And for them, the big thing too is just what's a day that works for all the students, like with all their schedules, and then like for next time, we're planning on grilling out and having burgers and stuff afterwards at the house.
Heck yeah,
so.
A little post run, dude. That's awesome.
I got pickleball.
Dang,
things. It fits in the driveway.
No way,
yeah,
dude.
Full size pickleball.
What is up with pickleball just blowing up this year, dude? Like it's just the sport everybody's playing. Yeah. I mean, Cersei got new courts over, like down the road from my house. It's everywhere.
Dude, we're hip now.
I've got to get in on the pickleball. I haven't played that much. I've played probably one game of pickleball in the GAC, I think, when they used to have that in the gym there. But it's definitely blown up. I mean, social media is taking over pickleball. David Dobrik, the freaking like YouTuber, and he had like a tournament with Celsius brand. It was like a Celsius branded pickleball tournament, and it was like all these major influencers were playing pickleball.
Wow.
Branded by Celsius. So it was like a promotion thing. But
the rackets?
Yeah, Celsius, because I guess he got some kind of sponsor deal there. Yeah. But it was a pickleball tournament. So pickleball is everywhere, dude. Yeah. It's blowing up. It's a fun sport. It's fun to play. Kind of glad Cersei got some courts, though. That's kind of cool.
We're kind of hip. I mean, that's kind of weird for Cersei.
That's weird for Cersei. We're stepping up. We got Whataburger and pickleball courts now. And Seven Brew, dude. And did you see, I actually saw a sumo coming in. Did you see that?
And did you also see about the Texas Roadhouse?
Texas Roadhouse, dude.
Hey.
We're stepping up, man.
Where thousands live like millions wish they could. Yeah. You know? I mean, come on.
Dude, I swear. I remember freshman year at Harding, one thing that Bruce McClarty had said. He said something like, if, I wouldn't change a thing about where Harding is placed. He was saying, like, if I could choose today, where to put Harding University, it'd be right here in Searcy, Arkansas. He loves Searcy, but so he loved that Harding was here. But I thought that was interesting because, most people hear Searcy, like, where's that, Yeah. And they know where Little Rock is, but they don't know where Searcy is.
Right.
So that's the key. But, dude, I like it. I like the growth. I guess we're kind of on like a 10 to 20-year growth chart thing. I don't know what they do, but it's definitely a lot longer than, like, if you're in Nashville, of course, it's already developed and huge. But anything you miss about Nashville?
I think the greatest thing is just the options.
Yeah.
And the good places to eat, and, activities and things like that.
A lot more,
Yeah. But by the same token, I mean, it's not like when I lived over there, you do something all the time anyways. Yep. I mean, because that's expensive.
Yeah.
I do appreciate Searcy a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a great place if you wanted to start a family.
Yeah.
Great. You're close to places like Northwest Arkansas, Little Rock, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go east and go to Memphis or Nashville, if you wanted to. So you can get to places without too much pain.
Yeah.
Like this last weekend, I went up to Northwest Arkansas.
Uh-huh. You can get up there pretty easy.
Yeah. And it wasn't that big of a
deal. Did you go to the game?
No, I went and ran a race.
Really? You ran so the race was in Northwest? Dang, they had a lot going on that weekend, dude. I went to the apple farm, and I saw all these people because of the game. And dude,
a lot of us were up there.
Dude, that's crazy, yeah. Hey, it's a good play. It's only about 3 hours from here, 3 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to Bentonville, it's like 3:20.
Oh, yeah.
But not much.
Yeah, I love Northwest Arkansas. They're just always growing. It's just a beautiful place. It's like up in the mountains.
I always like to say it's the crown jewel of the state.
Crown jewel, yeah.
It's pretty.
It is pretty. It's almost like it's just so different because we're on this like flatland almost, and like they're way up in the hills. It's like crazy. The Ozarks are so pretty. So
and when you drive up there, you can really get a sense when you're going up to Northwest Arkansas. You're like, man, I'm climbing some hills.
Yeah,
here,
yeah. Your ears are popping. You're like, what is going on? That's crazy. So you're enjoying the job as a professor. You're working on the doctorate. So a lot of things in the work. You're doing all that, doing the marathons, doing the Joe's Gym. And, I guess, how do you balance out, each of these things? It's a lot of things in the works, but, like, where do you find yourself, spending the most of your time, like, developing new ideas and coming up with that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably the majority of my time is at Harding.
Yep.
And then really, I mean, most of my days are pretty packed.
Yeah. What's a typical day look like? Since you do exercise a lot, you do run a lot. Like what time you waking up in the morning?
I wake up at 5.
5 a.m.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal.
Mm-hmm. So I wake up at 5 to run.
Yeah.
And then I'll get cleaned up. I like to get to work early. So I usually get to work around 7.
Yep.
And I crank out emails if I need to grade anything.
Yes, sir.
Any lecture prep.
I
do all that then. And then this semester, I teach 8, 10, and 1.
8, 10, and 1.
And then I also have an online class. So I go do the 8 o'clock, the 10, the 1. I do office hours. We have that new sports analytics major, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know we had that.
So it's like an interdisciplinary thing.
Yeah.
So it's like computer science, kinesiology, and information systems. And so I'm the head advisor for all those.
Wow.
So I have a lot more students that I'm advising now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've already had several students come by to get like evals done and things like that. But
that's incredible.
Yeah, and I'm a sponsor of the AIS, the club for information systems. So I do work on that. And so a lot of stuff during the day is for Harding. And then usually, you know, around 4, I'm done. And then I go home, and then I have a couple of people that I do personal training with a few days a week. So do that usually if I have them. And then usually eat dinner, and then that would be reading time, or if I'm working on anything with Joe's Gym or anything else.
You like to read a lot?
I do. I'm a big bookworm.
I've been trying to get into reading more because I see so many benefits to it. It's just really good for you, and you learn a lot from reading, especially if you're reading something with a lot of value.
And like especially once you get out of college, it's a good way to keep learning stuff. You know,
that's what's weird is like you don't really. When you're in college, like you do kind of sometimes have the attitude, you're like, why am I doing this? What is this? Like, I don't like this. But like, then again, once you get out, the only way you're really learning is it's your effort when you get out. Like you have to put in the effort, just like you have to put in the effort to learn when you're in class or in college. So it's a little bit of it's interesting to see with me being like almost about, I guess 2 years out of college. Yeah. It's cool to see like if I want to learn some new skill or learn some more things about something, I'm going to learn by doing, but it's also, you know, a lot of research that I do on my own. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts, it's like Huberman podcast, Jocko podcast. A lot of stuff I'm trying to learn is like leadership and learning about, you know, the Huberman's a lot about health and stuff. You listen to him?
Oh, I listen to a little bit of Huberman.
Man's incredible.
Do you take a lot of that advice? Like, are you?
I can't. You have to be super, super strict about things to like take everything he says and like actually implement it. The only thing I have done that has actually benefited me that I've been able to do was wake up in the morning and wait 90 minutes to have caffeine. So I used to hop out of bed and go right to the coffee shop because that's where I work, you know, and just drink coffee. Now I wake up, drink a lot of water. I've actually started drinking a little bit of greens, Jocko greens.
I saw those on your counter in there. I did take note.
It's definitely it's not the best taste, but it's pineapple coconut flavor. And actually, my boss named Callum at Seven Brew, he's been a big advocate of them, and so he's like, "You've got to get on them, dude. You got to try them out." And I was like, "All right, I'll get them," because I like Jocko's podcast. I like his mission. I like what he does. And so I ordered some when they had them on sale, but. It's not like you're going to drink it and it's not going to be like a fruity flavored nice. It's greens. It's like a greens powder. So the flavor's not like incredible, but it's drinkable. So started doing that. Right there. Yeah. And then I wait 90 minutes now, and it helps you not crash in the afternoon. So the thing there is it's basically if you drink coffee or if you have caffeine right when you wake up, sometimes like you'll experience like more of a crash later. Because I think it's adenosine. Okay. I think that in your body or whatever, it like blocks that, the caffeine does. And so if you don't let that build up enough, then when you cut it with caffeine, it basically just puts a block in the adenosine pathway. And then after that caffeine wears off, like 3 in the afternoon, you're going to hit like a brick wall and crash. Wow. Because you get flooded with adenosine and stuff. So I started doing that a little bit, and I've had a little bit of, I've seen the benefit of it. Yeah. But like the tape on, some people are, there's people putting tape on their mouths going to sleep, which I know people that do it. Hostage tape is what it's called. Mm-hmm. But it helps with sleep. I haven't done none of that. I haven't done the ice cold baths and all that kind of thing. I think there's benefit to those too. I just haven't muscled up the courage to get in one. But
Yeah, and like I'm with you on that. Like the ice bath thing is appealing in some primal sense.
You know what you need to do? So you have Joe's Gym. You've got to get you an ice bath and a sauna.
Oh, there we go.
Dude, that'd be a great add-on.
There we go.
Sauna and an ice bath.
I mean, dude, you can go real budget with the ice bath. We get like some big trash can, just dump that thing.
Yeah, you don't have to spend a lot on the ice bath for sure.
The only problem though with that is you'd have to be buying ice.
You definitely have to buy a lot of ice. You'd have to, and they've got these little ice kiosks. It's definitely doable, but it's like how many? I guess I would just need to know how many ice baths they recommend. Because like those things
guys do it like every day.
It's got to be. I guess you just get to a point where you're like, I'm gonna do this, but that's a mindset to get in that thing for 5 minutes or whatever it is. It's not even a long time you get in there, but it's like I can't imagine how cold it is.
Well, it probably feels like eternity. While you're
but dude, there's been a lot of people say there's a lot of health benefits to it, and I know the sauna has always been appealing to me. I've always wanted to be like, if I could have a sauna, that'd be great. They say it helps with like a lot of things, like it helps with your immune system, helps you fight off some of the germs and stuff that you're dealing with, whether you feel sick or something.
Right.
Kind of helps you. But yeah, I haven't done everything. Huberman's a little bit. He's crazy. He's got some good stuff though.
Some of those people call them like Huberman husbands. Have you seen those? Like these wives on TikTok post about, hey, here's my Huberman husband. Here's what he does, And some of those guys take it all the way.
Oh, some of them do. Some of them, you got to be. It's a different mindset for sure. It's impressive if you can actually do what he's saying. He's a smart guy. He's got a lot there. He brings on a lot of interesting guests too that have different ideas that he even learns about. So
I know when you said that, I started looking for the hostage tape.
No, I was like, dude. No, I know somebody that has some though. My boss actually had got some hostage tape. He bought because I think you had to buy like a yearly subscription, so he had like a ton of them. But I was like, I don't really want to try none of the hostage tape. I'd be scared. I'd just like wake up and be like, why is there tape on my mouth? And
the name too. We could workshop the name hostage tape.
Yeah, it's kind of comical. But yeah, man, you're doing a lot. You got it going. You got the routine going. Yeah. So shoot, I'm probably almost keeping you up past the normal bedtime then,
Dude, man, it happens.
Yeah, it happens for sure. So with everything that's going on, is there any future plans with teaching that you'd like to reach? I know you're working on the doctorate. Like, where do you see yourself intermixing all of these things? Like, what's the 5-year, 10-year? What's your next steps? Like, I know you like where you're at now, but what's the next steps you think?
Right, and I'm not a kind of guy that likes to have like forever planned out.
Exactly, yeah.
Just because I don't know what's going to happen, But I definitely want to get the doctorate wrapped up, do that. And, for right now, my goal is I want to, and the way I've approached it is, the great thing about teaching is you're on a 1-year cycle or a 9-month cycle. So you're not tied into like a long-term deal.
Yeah, for sure.
So the great thing about it is you could decide, hey, after this year, I don't want to do it anymore, and there's no strings attached to it.
That's
which is nice.
Yeah.
And so my plan really is just to approach it like, hey, I'm just going to teach and take it a year at a time, and then, if I ever decide I don't want to do it, then I'll do something different.
Yeah.
I do really love it though.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm sitting there counting my time down.
No, you're definitely you're still young in it, and you're still early on in your career as a professor, and I feel like with the doctorate, just you're growing in all those areas too. So it's cool to see you excelling over there. So it's
I appreciate that.
I like the I know everybody that I've always talked to is like, yeah, I've got Joe Faith. We got Joe. It's always something great. And then now when you got the doctorate in, Dr. what again? Was it?
Data.
Dr. Data.
Dr. Data, man.
Dude, Dr. Data's coming in, dude.
We're hacking into the mainframe here.
Dude, you're going to have to get the merch made for that. Dr. Data, dude. That'd be sick.
And tell Landon to get on the merch.
Yeah, no doubt. Tell him, put that in the books for the future. So.
Put that on the Pinterest board.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be good, man. That's going to be good. Well, you got anything else you want to say about Joe's Gym or anything? You got to plug it, dude. You got to put what's the account?
Hey, Joe's.gym.
Joe's.gym.
On Instagram.
Heck yeah.
And if you're in the Searcy area and you're wanting to do any personal training or running, or I've done some running plans for people as well.
Heck yeah. Do you do any meal plans yet or anything like that?
I don't do any meal plans.
Yeah, that's nutrition stuff, whatever. Leave it to them.
And, hey man, chicken, broccoli, rice 3 times a day. There you go.
Dude, is that before we get done? Was that what you were doing in college? Like when you started cutting just chicken, broccoli, rice?
It was like I ate a lot of chicken, salmon.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, real plain.
Heck yeah.
Just roasted vegetables.
Well, diet's got to be a big proponent to all of this too. So
well, and the thing is too, once you get to where you want to be, you can be a lot more loose with it. You know.
Yep.
And if you're training for marathons too, that also helps.
Yeah.
You know, because you're burning so many calories. It's
drinking a lot of water, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can be a lot more. You can loosen the belt more. It's just people have a hard time, I think, losing the weight and then understanding. Okay, I can't really do that for a while.
Yeah, and some may have a hard time. I think it's a lot of times it's like they can't really see the results right away.
Right.
So when you can't see them, it's like, what is it? What am I doing? But it's definitely. Diet's a huge one, and then if somebody wanted to get involved with training, they can hit you up, Joe's Gym. So
yeah, absolutely,
you got that going, got the running club going,
and any Harding students want to join the running club?
Heck yeah,
you reach out to me.
Dude.
We get you in the group chat.
Gotta get them in there, dude. That's awesome. It's cool that you're doing that for sure.
We're just speeding around town, man. You can see the smoke flying off our shoes as we
fly
around. I mean, listen.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Parker on it next time I see him. I'm gonna be like, dude, you better be running them drinks out fast, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's gonna be your most efficient worker.
Yeah. Hey, he needs to be. He's gonna have to get in there and bust it now. I'm gonna make sure he's moving in there.
He's gonna have extra pressure.
Yeah, extra pressure for sure. Well, shoot, it's been good to have you on the show, man. Yeah. Definitely just want this podcast to be all about bringing on cool people. You know, you're one of these cool people that are doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of different things, from Joe's Gym to Joe Does Tech to all kinds of stuff. Professor at Harding, getting that doctorate degree, everything, man. You got it going. So Joe does things. I like it.
I appreciate you having me on.
Heck yeah, man, for sure.
It's cool being on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see a student that I had, all the cool things.
That's what's crazy about connections in life, you know. Yeah. Time flies, but then, you're like, oh, shoot, I'm still around, and Joe Face over there teaching. He's got a cool – we've got a connection already, so I'll probably get in touch with you. We need to make some videos making some energies. I've been doing a lot of TikToks, so I got on the TikTok grind with Seven Brew making some drinks. So one day it'd be cool to get you by, like – get you to come to the drive-thru. We'll do like a little skit or something.
Hey, man, I do some reviews every once in a while,
There we go.
I do the reviews.
We'll get you like an energy. I know you like the energies at Seven Brew too, so you're a big energy guy. So we'll do something for sure.
All right, let's do it, man.
Heck yeah, man. Well, good to have you.
Awesome. Hey, Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Awesome.